In 1075, King William I faced a revolt from his Norman earls. Those involved included Ralph de Gale, the Earl of Norfolk, Roger de Breteuil, the Earl of Hereford, and Waltheof, the Earl of Northumbria. Until this point, they had all been loyal nobility. In this pod, we'll look at their motives and plans, as well as the events and consequences of their planned revolt.
The exact motives of the plotters are unknown. However, many theories have been drawn from what we know of the event. Many point to Roger de Breteuil as the figurehead of the revolt. It's known that following his father's death, Roger did not inherit the power or land he anticipated. This made him angry and could have been a reason for his revolt against the king.
The reason for Ralph de Gale's involvement is less clear. Again, there's some suggestion he wanted more power and land. Some believe it was also caused by the king's refusal to approve a marriage between Ralph and Emma Fitzosborne.
It's widely believed that Waltheof was not motivated to attack William. However, like Breteuil and Gale, he wanted greater power and land. Waltheof was also the last remaining English earl. The others had been killed or their titles stripped from them.
The plotters intended to revolt when William was in Normandy. They believed a quick, decisive move was key and would prevent William from mounting a counterattack. They planned to make use of strong opponents to William, such as the Danish and English who had suffered under his rule. They felt their combined forces, along with the support of those opposed to William, would allow a swift victory.
However, their plans were never realized. Waltheof, perhaps racked by guilt, confessed the plan to the Archbishop of Canterbury, Lanfranc. Lanfranc was also the regent of England in William's absence, meaning he could govern the country. He was a skilled individual and tried to prevent the rebellion through diplomacy by writing a letter to Breteuil. However, Breteuil refused to cooperate.
Upon this discovery, Lanfranc used William's forces in a strong countermove. He ordered 2 armies to march north and to prevent Breteuil and Gale's armies from combining. His tactic worked, and the rebels fled.
The consequences were harsh. Waltheof was imprisoned and later executed for treason. Ralph de Gale was stripped of all his lands and his earldom. He fled to Brittany to live with his wife. Roger de Breteuil was also stripped of his lands and earldom, but was sentenced to perpetual imprisonment.
The revolt of the Earls also had wider implications. William continued to adapt his approach to earldoms by making them smaller. This reduced the amount of power and wealth that important individuals could hold. With Waltheof's death, the last English earl had also been removed. Some historians have pointed to this moment as the defining point in the Norman conquest's completion. All of the earls were now trusted Normans who had sworn their loyalty to William. The punishments of the revolting earls had also shown them the importance of remaining loyal to the king.